Full house, huh?
Yes.
Those are the
Sorry
best-
that you couldn't find a seat very
Yeah,
well.
those are the best meetings to have.
Yeah.
Especially since we televise now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's live stream, so.
And I have to fix the clock.
I didn't say anything?
I
Did you
noticed.
You
that?
should have came down early
I
and
know.
taken care of that.
I noticed, yep.
Now I'm gonna be all befuddled here.
You will figure it out.
I did. I did.
I'm always
I
befuddled.
know. All right, so am I the only one that did?
It was like $37 increase for the
Yeah.
garbage.
Yeah. It's, quite a large one, unfortunately.
Well, everything's going up, unfortunately.
Yeah, still.
Look at the fuel price between the 2 years.
Yeah.
Whew.
It's not working?
I don't know if it's just the lag time. Can you see the picture, but it's not playing. Look, we're good.
Good?
It's,
Okay. All right, welcome to the November sixth, 2023 Village Board meeting. If you could please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, Sherry, would you like to walk us through the garbage?
Sure. So, the tentative budget for the garbage, it's expected, where we have it set up now, the total cost for the budget is $268,000 and $268,268. We have 938 units that pay into that, which would be a cost of $286 per unit for the year for garbage. Again, that includes the pickups every Monday for garbage, twice a month for recyclables. It also does the bulk pickup, as well as leaf removal and the Christmas trees removal. So there were some increases. It's actually, there's a $37 increase over last year's. But we still are at $286, keeping it under $300. The transfer station is $380 for the year. That's at 2023's price. I'm not sure what their budget is for next year. I know it's gonna go up. And we made some calls to Welsh and Royal. Apparently they're gonna charge either $480 or $534 a year, depending on the size receptacle that you use. So it's unfortunate that we do have quite an increase, but it's still a good bang for your buck, I believe. So I'd like to answer any questions. I know you've just seen it for the first time. So if you just want to absorb it, we can delve into it more at a public hearing at our next meeting.
Do you know how this compares to the town's
Yeah, the
transfer permit,
yeah,
transfer station?
The town
permit?
transfer station is $380,
Okay.
at least for 2023. And I think there was a $5 or a $10, either a $5 or a $10 increase was proposed in their budget. I'm not sure if that went
Theirs
through.
was how much? I forgot, right?
So the transfer fee is $380
$380, okay.
for the sticker. I think they were saying there might be a $5 increase in that for 2024.
Okay.
And again, for Welsh, they have two different size cans that you use with them. It's either $480 a year, $481 a year, or $534 for the larger.
Okay. So still,
Yeah, I mean, it's an increase, but it's still,
The relative bargain though compared to the.
it is. And one of the things, which is a tough call, is there's gonna be some money in the fund balance at the end of the year. And oftentimes, we try to use some of that fund balance to offset the increases to the residents themselves. We're in the process, we have purchased a new truck, garbage truck. We've been waiting a year for it. It's due to come in around January, February. At that time, we have to start taking out 5-year bonds, or bond for a year for a max of 5 years. So we have to pay off $215,000 plus in 5 years' time. So I didn't want to take anything out of the fund balance just yet to offset this budget. I'd rather use that to put towards the purchase of the new truck when it comes in, so we're not borrowing as much.
which we've been in desperate need for how many years?
Yeah.
We've been trying to find a truck and finally,
Since 2019, we've been on the hunt for a truck. It's crazy.
so,
So we finally found one. Unfortunately, we couldn't find anything used. We had to purchase a new one. That was a long, lengthy process to get that, and it's in the process of being constructed now. So we hope to have that in January, February.
What's
Thank
the, oh, go ahead, Gordon.
I was just gonna say thank you to you and Liz for, working hard on this budget.
Well, Liz, yeah, Liz did a great job on it all, so I'd like to thank her. She's on the line? Thank you, Liz.
Thank you, Liz.
Thanks, Liz.
Thank you, Liz. Squad.
I'm sorry, John.
Now, just a question of the lifespan of the truck, what do we anticipate the usable life?
I'm not sure the lifespan of the trucks themselves. Luckily, we don't put a lot of mileage on. We transfer from here up to Wingdale, it's local. In the past years, we've purchased used equipment.
Right.
So the two trucks we have now is a 2001 and a 2006.
Okay.
We're replacing the 2001, which is really falling apart.
Yeah.
The truck is,
It's being held together by duct tape.
yeah.
So we might, I mean.
We're gonna be
probably 15, 20 years maybe.
Yeah, so, yeah.
Right, good.
And we are gonna have a little bit of revenue once we get the new truck in, sell the old one. No idea what we're gonna get for it, but again, that money, I hope to be able to use right away, to pay down the bond.
All right, good. Thank you, Jerry.
Thank you.
Any other questions? All right, so we need to set the public hearing date.
Yes.
So,
Yeah, if we could do that for the next meeting?
I'll second it.
all right. All in favor, say aye.
All right.
Okay. Do we have no Dan? few of the agenda items, so, what I'm gonna suggest is we skip the next three, and move on to approve Pawling. This is, our bond council, what we needed in order to, use the, EFC for the funding of Lower Baxter, and it includes the MWBE waiver in order to use them. So, it's a requirement for the financing that we've
Okay.
received, so, does anybody have any questions regarding this? This was promised something, if we have any questions, Liz is on the phone. But we've been down this road before with Umshide, so, this is just for the, new water filtration plant that we're currently under construction. So,
We've had them before, right? This is
Yeah.
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 Okay. And do we have to make a motion to approve the contract, or just to have you
Yes.
sign?
Yep, we have to, approve it.
Okay.
All right, then I'll second it.
I'll
Did
make
you
that
make a
motion.
motion?
I did.
Oh, yeah.
He was just
I'd like to-
asking.
I was asking, but yes, I'll make that motion to approve the.
Oh, it sounded like a motion.
Harry
Okay.
Tan Sutcliffe.
John, you second?
Yeah.
Any
Yeah.
questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Let's skip over the next item. We'll circle back if we don't hear from Dan, but I figure let's give him a little time. So it is our, fire district commissioners serve 5-year terms. And our commissioner is John Esposito, so he is up for reappointment for a 5-year term. Anybody have any questions regarding that?
Bless. Thank you.
All right, so I'll make a motion to reappoint John Esposito.
I'll second
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. And next we have our Metro North parking management plan for 2024. There's no real changes, so.
Dan's finally here.
You heard my SOSs?
Well, I sort of dozed off, sorry. It's dark out already.
That's true.
Dan,
Yes?
set an alarm next time. All right. Does anybody have any questions regarding the Metro North parking management plan?
No.
Okay. So can I get a motion to approve that?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, so Dan, we skipped over all of your items, the pay requests and the repairs to the wetland monitoring, hoping that you would get on the phone. So,
Did I finally wake up?
I wasn't gonna go there. So if you wanna get to the top and, pay application number 2.
Yeah, I'd be happy to.
Okay.
There's 3 pay applications for TNA. That's Gary Tisso's company, who is taking the prime responsibility for building Lower Baxter. We have approved each of those pay applications, and we recommend that the board acknowledge and approve them and move forward with keeping his cash flow going.
Okay, does anybody have any questions regarding these? I think we're gonna have to do them all separately. No, we can do them together? Okay.
That's fine.
Anybody have any questions regarding them?
No.
No.
Okay. All right, I'll make a motion, to approve pay application number 2, 3, and 4 for TNA Construction.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Now, do you wanna
Thank you.
walk through
Yeah.
the,
There, yes, our permit for Umscheid required some significant monitoring of the wetlands. These are piezometers that measure pressure and transmitters that provide those data to both Justin and me every morning, 6 o'clock. It's required to look at those data because if the data indicated that the gradient to the wetland became too low, we would be obligated to modify the pumping of Umscheid. Over the years, those were installed about 4 years ago or so. Over the years, the battery packs have started to fail, and one of the transducers has failed, and the money we're requesting is to put that network back in shape so that we can be fully compliant with the permit.
anybody have any questions regarding that?
Dan, is this something that we're gonna have to continue on with, once we start meeting all the requirements?
That's a great question.
Yeah, that's not,
There's a permit renewal coming up in 2024, and my hope and belief is, based on the experience that we've had over the last 3 years, we would get some forgiveness as to the detail of that monitoring. But it will be part of the permit application and negotiation for that renewal in 2024.
right,
Okay, so we're paying it, okay.
yeah, so we have to maintain it until we
Yeah.
come to an agreement,
Yeah.
and we don't know what that's gonna look like until we're at the table, so. All right, thank you, Dan.
I actually have a question about
Oh,
it.
good.
Thank you all.
Wait, Dan, we got a
Dan,
question.
I got a question for you. The
I'm
three,
still here.
I know.
Don't go to sleep.
Yeah, for real. The $3,000 line says possibly replace steam gauge. Is that $3,000 including a replacement if it needs to, or is this likely to go up if that steam
Yeah,
gauge is no
so
good?
the idea is to take that transducer, send it back to the company, and if it can be repaired, it will be repaired, but if it can't be repaired, then that provides enough money to replace it.
Gotcha.
All right, so we might come in less if it's repaired.
Yes.
Okay. All right, so can I get a motion to approve the repairs?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second
All in favor, say aye.
Aye?
Almost said the wrong word.
All right, Dan, you're up again for engineers report.
I don't have anything big to report. We're moving forward well on Lower Baxter. TNA is stepping up and getting the job done. Kesselman is the electrical contractor, and they're also getting the job done. So I'm pleased to report we're optimistically on time to get beneficial occupancy and use in late December.
And you've reached out to county health and state health to get those approvals hopefully as well, right?
I have. I've talked to Dutchess County, both in writing and on the phone. One of the principals at DOH is on vacation still, but I hope to engage them verbally in the next week or so, just prepping them for our understanding that we're going to request this partial complete works approval in December, and also look forward to being able to operate the system with full compliance late December, very early January. And so we engage them now to try to set the stage so that we can actually pull this off as the facilities get completed.
Okay, thank you.
Thank
All right.
you.
Any questions for Dan before we move on?
Yeah, thank you, Dan.
Thanks, Dan.
Thanks.
Thanks, Dan.
That was gonna be bad.
Thank you
but I
all.
Decided to be nice. Okay, so can I get a motion to pay the prepaid bills in the amount of $8,480?
So moved.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And can I get a motion to pay the October bills in the amount of $557,152.44?
So moved.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, just before we, adjourn and go into public comment, I just wanted to say again, we have vacancies on the planning and zoning boards, and we have a vacancy on our highway team, so if anybody's interested, please submit applications or application for the one and letters of interest for the other, so. All right, so can I get a motion, or does anybody else have anything else? Okay, can I get a motion to adjourn and go into public comment?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Do you have any public comment? No, we do not. All right. So can I get a motion to go into executive session for litigation?
So moved.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. We shall be back.
Thank you all, and good night.
Hey, thank you.
Go back to bed.
I need it.
We're jealous.
It's evident that we're out. Right, I mean, all right, do you want to
Yes,
send it?
yes, please,
Okay.
sure. Might as well start jumping in.
Yeah, sure, no problem.
Go in the deep end.
There you go.
Oh, yeah. You.
Sir? Thank you.
Building was very, it really has been.
So,
You coming along?
I am, yeah, no, I do think by the end of the year I'll be much better.
That's close, that's good.
yeah.
That's all right.
I have similar devices at my.
Yeah,
car
like, take a
wash.
look at.
Not any
Okay.
warmer.
Huh?
It's not any warmer.
No, it's not any warmer. All right, can I get a motion to close executive session?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Can I get a motion to reopen our regular meeting?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Dave, I'd like to turn this over to you to discuss.
Well, the property 146 East Main has been the subject of the planning board about 3 or 4 months ago passed a new site plan that basically creates a situation where the building is going to be constructed in accord with the original plans, with some minor modifications that the plans that were back in 2020, I believe it was. So there were some issues that needed to be discussed about that before they could move forward. They've come forward, they want a building permit, and they want to move forward with that. And so an agreement was negotiated, and it was discussed in executive session, and it basically would end all issues between the villages. There's a pending lawsuit that would technically still be in effect, but it would be discontinued upon completion of the project and issuance of a certificate of occupancy. The building permits would be reviewed and issued as they would be for any project, in accord with the site plan, with a landscaping plan that's going to be presented, that was discussed at the planning board, with some protecting the neighbors, and Route 22 with appropriate screening. And all fees that were requested by the village are going to have been paid. The agreement has been signed by the owners, and it's just at this point pending approval by the board. So if you wanted to move forward on that, you could make a motion and vote on that. So.
I'm happy to see that it was a long road, and I appreciate all the work you put into it, and the planning board, and
Yeah.
And the
everyone
village
involved.
board.
Well, nonetheless, I'm glad to see forward progress here, and I'd like to make the motion to have the mayor authorized to sign the agreement.
I'll second it.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. I think we're all set, so can I get a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I'll make that motion.
And I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you, everyone.
Want people to vote?
Have a good night. Huh?
My people.
Oh, yes. Don't forget to vote tomorrow.
It's a good meeting for folks that we hadn't met before, so.
Thank
seeing
you.
Yeah, thanks, all right, sounds good.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Kyle.
thanks,
Take
take care.
care.
Thanks.
Look forward to it, folks. Thank you, guys.
All righty.